Good evening, everyone. Today, the affirmative team will be arguing that human beings are obliged to break unjust laws. Laws have been set in place by authoritative figures to keep order amongst the people that they govern. This team will be discussing certain points in time where people have been oppressed by lawmakers and laws set in place. The impact of these oppressive laws have led these people to break them in a justifiable manner. Throughout history, minorities have been put at a disadvantage. More specifically, Black people have experienced extreme levels of oppression from white people, leading them to protest and break the laws set in place to see them fail. Many civil rights activists, such as Dr. King and Rosa Parks, used the majority of their adult lives to take a stand against the oppressor, the privileged white man. By refusing to give up her seat, Rosa Parks emphasized that she would no longer be silenced, and neither would her people. By starting a peaceful protest, Dr. King let his followers know that you can fight for what's right in a calm and just manner. Therefore, it is morally justifiable to break the law when you face injustices everywhere you go, when you become evil because of your misfortune, and when you are wrongfully accused of a crime. Dr. King and Black people in the 60s faced injustices everywhere simply because they were Black. In his letter to the clergyman in Birmingham, King stated, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." Black people were mistreated in the past and were expected to accept the mistreatment. Although King isn't necessarily saying that injustices were faced everywhere, he is saying that if you sit and accept the injustices placed upon you and your kind, you are accepting that you all will never receive justice. His movement was to ensure that Black people have the right to live freely like white people, and that there will be justice for all people everywhere. King also mentioned in his letter that he could not idly sit by and watch the suffering of his people continue in Birmingham. Because of this, today's society exists. Although it is not perfect, it is better than what it once was. I believe it is a citizen's moral responsibility to stand up for what they believe in, no matter the consequence, because we can't just stand by and watch while our people face injustices every day. By not fighting back, you are accepting your current predicament. You aren't seeking change. These civil rights leaders recognized the wrong being done and decided to take action so that we as minorities can live the comfortable lifestyles that we have today. Defying these laws was justifiable because of the treatment that African Americans faced, which was wrong and unjust. It is also your moral duty to break the law when your misfortunes cause you to become evil. In Civil Disobedience by Thoreau, he states, "But if it is of such a nature that it requires you to be the agent of injustice to another, then I say break the law." From this, we can understand that if the injustices you face turn you into an oppressor, you must act against them and break the law. He also goes on to say, "Let your life be the counterfriction to stop the machine." This also reassures us that it is better to break the law than to be part of the machine, which is the root of all oppression and the evil against a certain group of people. Being the counterfriction may bring you negative attention from those who don't want to see change. However, you are working to change for your own reasons. You are fighting back for the rights that were taken away from you by these laws. A fight to stand up for what you morally believe in isn't complete until you are wrongfully accused of a crime. In Pluto's apology to the men of Athens, he expressed how he was wrongfully accused of many things for many years, causing him to react and fight back against his accusers. His fight was justifiable based on the treatment that he received from men of Athens for many years. He decided that enough was enough and that he needed to be heard. Oppressors never expect the oppressed to speak out and defy them. This is why their actions are always viewed as against the law. Oppressors expect to walk all over the people that are beneath them and never get a response. Pluto's actions show how much the oppressed have to endure before fighting back against their oppressors. Although he is apologizing for his actions, he still brings out what he was morally objectified to make his defense and fight back against Athens. As a society, we should follow in Pluto's footsteps and fight back against injustices in the most morally way possible. It is up to us to seek the justice that we know we deserve. I want to emphasize the fact that no one wants to deliberately break laws because of the natural human emotion of fear. Fear of the consequences you may receive because of the stand that you decide to take. However, it is better to do what is morally right in your eyes than to follow the majority that decide to stand with injustice. Fighting for what you believe is right and straying away from the majority is what makes the fight against injustice worth it, no matter the troubles you may face during the process. Thoreau and Dr. King's ideas show us that we are allowed to feel wronged and mistreated, and that it is indeed our moral duty to do right by ourselves. Pluto's ideas show us that one may endure so much oppression. However, it is up to you to decide whether or not you want to feel that oppression anymore or undergo that oppression anymore. All of these people have led us to believe that oppression isn't right and that one should not stand for it.